What is going on, everyone? So here today we're going to be doing another episode of our High Minds podcast. This is going to be something that I want to do very consistently. I want to start doing this very frequently so that we can continue to grow and grow and grow and climbing that ladder of being able to get our content in front of more people. So today what we're going to be discussing is a few different topics. I actually have a little list, but I was gonna roll one before we fully get into everything. I also have a really cool video that's gonna be coming out tomorrow. I haven't actually fully edited it yet, so when I say it's coming out tomorrow, I am hoping like hell that I can make that happen, which I should be able to do. But one of the topics that I really wanted to discuss today is the effects from, of course, the wind's really blowing. One second, let me put a piece of glass. Have weed jars holding the flag so that it doesn't blow too much. I want to have the windows open because it's fucking hot as hell, but trying not to swear, but I keep doing it. One of the topics I wanted to discuss is, does LED flower have the same effects that either sun-grown or light depths, stuff like that? Does it have the same effects that those other ones do? I wanted to discuss that because I think that it is definitely something that is very interesting and very noticeable when stuff is grown in different ways. If I'm not mistaken, this stuff right here is actually grown under LED lights. So, good weed is subjective. It's all about who's growing it, the genetics, the pheno, all of the different things that play into what is going to be really good and what's going to be really bad. But that is something I wanted to discuss today. One video that I was kind of just speaking about that I kind of skipped over that I'm going to be dropping tomorrow is the pheno video, where I actually talk about what the difference is between different types of phenos. I know a lot of people probably have some understanding of what this is or what that is, but this is definitely a topic that I feel is very interesting to speak about due to me having two different phenos of the same genetics at the moment. I have the cinnamon milk and I also have the pomegranate shake. Right now I'm breaking up some of the pomegranate shake, and they're super similar when it comes to what genre of strains they would fall into. They would both fall into the cookie cake dessert style strain, but it's definitely so different to see, or it's so easy to see the differences between each one. It is so obvious and so appealing when you smoke the cinnamon milk. With that said, the pomegranate's probably one of the ones that punches a little bit harder when it comes to the effects. So it's very fun to see these differences, to get to experience the differences, and just overall just have a little bit of a better understanding of what makes each one become more popular. I think that that is a fun discussion to have, and I also did some reactions within that, so it's gonna be going over a few different other people's opinions that are strengthening the message that I'm trying to send within the video. So let's try if to see if we can um, copy the link to this. Okay, my apologies for that interruption. I hope this is still going. What's up? So, as I was just talking about how just certain phenos are so different from each other. That is a discussion I really want to cover in depth. So the video I'm going to be dropping tomorrow is going to do that in the way that I feel is going to fully make sense for everyone who gets the chance to view it. It's going to be a video where I talk about the differences between certain ones and even show the complete differences between the ones that I just mentioned, the cinnamon milk and the pomegranate shake. These are two very, very different strains, and they're the same, so it's cool to see. But with that said, I also am going to be going to New York next weekend. This is something that I'm very much looking forward to and wanted to talk about before we fully get into any of the other topics. New York is something that I love going to. It's a place that is always very live. It's always a place that's not boring. Never been bored when I've been in New York. I've always been on the edge of my seat if I'm sitting, which is never. It's always a place where you have to be walking, doing something productive, and that's why I just love the people out there, is because everyone has some sort of hustle to them, some sort of motivation to go get it, which it's inspiring to be out there. So very much looking forward to going out there this weekend. It's gonna be basically this weekend, I guess. I'm going out there for an event, so we'll probably give more details on that. Will give a post for that so people can get the opportunity of actually going as well, because I am almost certain it is a free event. It was free when I RSVP'd, but it was free then, so I hope it's free for everyone. I hope that's still free now. With that said, this is going to be a cool one because it's one that I'm going to go and do an interview with one of the people who is a reviewer, someone who is in a similar boat as I am, and someone who shares like-minded thoughts as I do. So it'll be interesting to hear the way that they explain the reasoning behind the thoughts that they have, or stuff along those lines. I think that it would be a fun one just to do. But let's get into the topic. What are we going to be talking about today? LED grown flower having a difference in the effects compared to sun-grown. What is the difference? A lot of people will just be like, oh, there's a huge difference. One of them actually gets you high for an extended period of time, which is something that I say a lot. I'm someone who religiously will say that sun-grown flower is just going to be able to give you the effects that a lot of people are saying do not exist anymore. A lot of people are saying that flower back in the day was all types of good because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. And what I think that they really are mistaking to see, or unaware of being able to see, is the factor of the sun being able to give it those strengths and those powers that are going to be able to actually produce something that is not only powerful enough to put you into a place that is where a lot of people are looking to go if you're smoking cannabis, if you're smoking a plant that is going to give you any psychoactive effect at all, then I would assume you're probably looking to get actually like a potent effect. You're probably not necessarily just looking to get some light beer effect where you just feel like you just want more and more and more. I feel like that is just a rough cycle of going down. That's why I think that the candy wave is surprising to see how long its longevity has been in the height of the market, because it's just not necessarily something that produces a long lasting high unless you have it that, unless it's grown outdoors, I should say. Even the effects then aren't like long lasting things that you're really searching to feel. It's more or less just something that tastes amazing, so it's just so appealing. But I'm straying off track. How is the differences even different? Um, so of course the longevity of sun-grown flower is just night and day. You're gonna get high for almost double the time, but it's not gonna be necessarily a cloudy headed high where you're going to fully notice it if you are one of those people who are more looking to get that tired, hungry effect. Then outdoor cannabis isn't really for you if you're searching for more of that lazy effect. Outdoor cannabis could be for you in that way if you are sourcing some extremely potent. The jars keep dropping. I'm just gonna take them down. Um, if you are looking to, it's crazy that that jar is dropping. I guarantee that jar is probably about a pound or so. So that wins. I'm way off track now, but it could make sense if you were sourcing some like extremely potent gorilla glue that's grown outdoors in a gorilla grow. That could really put you out, but it's probably not gonna really do that to you. Still, it's probably still gonna give you more of an awake burst of energy for a short period of time, and then it's just gonna lay you back. You're just gonna be stuck where you're really gonna actually get the full effect of the strain. It's not gonna be dulled down at all. But when we see stuff that's grown under LEDs, sometimes it can be great. I've noticed sometimes it can be great. It's very weird. It's very inconsistent, though. It's never something that I've noticed is ever consistent when it comes batch to batch. I've noticed that all the time stuff seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And I hate to say that because I sound like a Debbie Downer. And a lot of people are probably going to look at it as that. A lot of people are probably not going to look at it in the bigger picture because some people that grow will watch this. I know there's a lot of people who grow who watch my channel and do agree with this message of LEDs, but the overall yield and stuff like that just plays such a huge role in people's selection of what to choose as their go-to in in what they pick for what they grow as like a genetic to grow, or what lighting, what to feed, all of that. But what's up? How's everyone doing? I'm noticing that there's actually someone in here now. Kind of just been talking to the clouds, but much appreciation for everyone who tunes into this. I definitely as I mentioned in the beginning of this, I want to start doing these very consistently, start doing these very often, and also give the people the opportunity sometimes when I do it in a live form of asking questions, anything along those lines that they may have, or requesting me to do some sort of content that appeals a little bit more towards them. Say a review of a brand that they've been interested in, that they've been hesitant on spending the money on, or something along those lines. I probably would be able to make that happen potentially. Depends how much it is. There's some fucking brands that are just out of this world expensive right now. It's amazing. It is truly amazing to see the small batch scene right now. I think that it's such a fucking learning lesson for the future. So I hope people actually play their cards right in this time and don't burn themselves out too much charging like insane tickets. I think that it's a great way for a lot of people to ruin their opportunity of ever staying in the market long term. But I keep skipping over what I was talking about before. The thing that I look at when I'm looking at the difference between LED and even HPS. HPS is one of those ones that's like just super harsh. They say it's more of a spectrum that's closer to the sun. They say that it's closer to just producing plants that are more of a natural look and everything, which is amazing to see because a lot of LED batches of flower, it doesn't really matter what strain it is. It seems like they come out a little bit more dense and artificial looking. And it's something that I look at to be similar to bananas. When we see all these genetically modified bananas or genetically modified things, we always see that they have such a different look, and it starts to completely change our idea of what is correct or what is supposed to be. So the looks obviously like something huge difference, but the overall effects, I truly do think that just LED batches, they don't have the longevity for the high, and they don't have the longevity for the shelf life as well. I think that they die off much quicker. So once people actually get to experience some properly grown, sun-grown flower, it opens your eyes to what is possible. And I love to give people that opportunity. I love blessing people with like a joint of some sun-grown or something like that, where people actually get to awaken themselves to what is, because there's so many major differences. But I don't know if I'm doing a good job of presenting those right now. I feel as if I'm probably more worried about sparking this joint. I what am I skipping over? I feel as if LED, one thing I wanted to mention about LED, and I noticed this with a lot of the so-called resin farmers, the people that are growing for rosin right now. There's a large community of growers who are just strictly growing to produce flower that's going to have big trichome heads, that's gonna look fucking ridiculous. Some of the flower just looks insanely pretty, but it tastes like air, tastes like fucking air, tastes like hot air, where it's just like, this doesn't taste anything similar to what the name was labeled on it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are left thinking that the strain was trash, the genetics are trash, but sometimes it's the way that it's grown, sometimes it's the certain cut. But when I talk about LEDs having these amazing looking trichomes, could put a I could put a photo or a video up. I will most likely do a full breakdown video of this explaining it, because there's been a lot of different clips that I could do reactions to and stuff along those lines. And there's also this one guy who did a like a study, like a test, where he's trying to say that LEDs are just as good, which, no shame in his game. It is what it is. If that's what he's looking to do, it's what he's looking to do. But the guy also has a huge greenhouse as well, so it's kind of a crazy thing to say when someone tries to say there's no huge difference between HPS and LEDs, because there is a difference. There's a reason why they even have different names, you know. Just is what it is. But it's like a lot of these LED grown batches, they'll look beautiful, and the reason why I think they smoke like air, and then some of the top nugs will smoke amazingly. They'll smoke with like amazing flavor, but the bottom nugs smoke just like garbage, is just due to the factor of the LED isn't able to completely feed the plant the nutritions and the light it really needs to grow to its full potential. And we see that with so many different things nowadays, with fruits and different things, where people are just eating these things where it has no nutritional benefit. It's more or less just the looks of it. It's more or less just people pretending to be healthy. We got a decently rolled joint right here. But also one of the topics that I wanted to just discuss, I think that the LED topic is something that I probably could go into more depth talking about in a bigger video, but something I wanted to shed light on as well that I think is an interesting thing to speak on is the effects of soil grown flower versus the effects of cocoa grown flower. Also, the comparison to those two that are grown indoors, soil grown that's grown indoors under LED lights, compared to stuff that's grown under the sun outdoors. I feel as if I could do a great video because I actually have SUNGROWN that's um, grown completely outdoors right now. I also have some fire depths right now that's like grown kind of under the sun but in a controlled setting, and then I have some LED grown indoors that I could like show people like the visual differences and whatnot. It's gonna be hard to fully explain the actual differences because it's so subjective when you're actually smoking it, because it depends on how it's rolled, it depends on all of these crazy little fine details in which it's actually being burned and all that weird shit. It's such a crazy plant. But basically, if I had to give a quick summary of what I think the major differences between something that's grown in cocoa and like Rockwool, I think that cocoa has a longer longevity on the high than cocoa. I think Rockwool has a shorter compared to cocoa. I would say cocoa is better than Rockwool. In this stuff right here, almost 100% sure it's grown in cocoa. I think under LED lights as well, it's not necessarily like the most elite stuff in the world, but it's really nice. This is the pomegranate shake. The pomegranate shake is one I talk about a lot in the video that I'm dropping tomorrow, the pheno video, where I discuss just the difference between phenotypes. But this being grown in cocoa, you can see a huge difference between this and something that's grown in soil when you are looking for the effects, I guess. I think that the effects can play minor, it can be very minor when you are looking at when you're looking at it when it's both grown under LED lights, though, I have to admit that. But when you ask how does it taste, tastes great, but it tastes great. I can't really like look for any like bad parts about this one. I think that it tastes great. I think that this stuff is really good. The high on the pomegranate shake is so much better than the high on the cinnamon milk, but when you look at them both together, like the taste and the smell of the cinnamon milk compared to the pomegranate shake is just insane. The pomegranate shake definitely has way better effects, but all the other boxes besides the looks, I guess, like the looks and the effects of the pomegranate shake are better than the cinnamon milk, but the taste and the smell of the cinnamon milk are just shitting on the pomegranate shake. Like, it tastes amazing though. Definitely more of a little bit more of an airy taste compared to the cinnamon milk. Cinnamon milk is more of just like this crazy like blue cookie type taste where it's fucking it's good. Tastes amazing. I have to admit that. I have to admit it. It is one of those strains that is just like insanely consistent too. It's always tasting amazing. It's always tasting amazing. But let's talk about the Coco versus outdoor a little bit. A lot of people kind of sleep on outdoors because sometimes they won't fully notice the effects. I think that sometimes the high of outdoors can be so clear-headed and so weird. It's all depending on the strain. Let me say, if you're getting one of those like fruity strains, those fruity or candy strains that's grown outdoors, I think it has like a similar effect to how it would indoors. But if you have something that's more of like a gas one, if you have like a GMO, you have like a OG or something like that that's grown outdoors, the effects that you're gonna get are just no comparison. You're literally gonna have to make sure you have enough time planned for smoking it if it's grown outdoor. It's like it's one of those things where you can't just like be at work or something, smoke a little joint or some shit. Like you're gonna regret it. It's amazing to see the effects comparison, and that's what like people back in the day always used to talk about, how they would be tripping out off different things. It doesn't make a lot of sense to the new age smokers because we're getting stuff that is just so fucking just dependent on the flavor. And like this, I just fucking dropped the ash out on myself. But something like this is probably more bred for the flavor as well. So I can't act like I'm someone who doesn't smoke for flavor. I think everyone in today's age is probably trying to get something that has some sort of decent taste, especially like something like a Zerbert or something like that, that is gonna have like a decent taste. I mean, a good taste, but it's also gonna have like all right effects. I think that there's like I don't know. There's just not room for a lot of stuff to have both like be the best of both sides, and that's what like really makes something like an OZK. I don't know if anyone's ever had OZK that's watching this, but I assume people have. OZK is a cross of OG Kush, and actually sometimes it's a cross of OG Eddie Leap times Skittles, but it's it's a powerful candy gas. It's amazing to see though that there's like there's not a lot of those. Not a lot of those at all. Like a Fruity Pebbles OG is something that it's hard to get right. It's hard to see like people really having like perfect batches of those types of strains. Like even like a there's so many ones. I guess fucking I'm pretty sure Sunday Driver has Fruity Pebbles OG in the genetics, but like no one really sees stuff like that. Sunday Driver we don't see. We don't ever really see gelatis. We don't see these fucking amazing tasting strains that not only taste dope, but they also pack a punch. Like a way bigger punch than something like this. You know what I mean? Like a gelati is I'm pretty sure it's like a South Florida OG times I can't even remember right now. It's the genetics of gelati is very interesting. I'm pretty sure it's like Blue Power times South Florida OG times something else. But that that strain is like one of those ones that gelati's amazing. It has like this chocolate ice cream type taste. It's bizarre how good it tastes, and it's also just one of those ones that just will get you where you're looking to get to. You know what I mean? Black maple and blue zushi. Blue Zushi is an interesting one because that one, Blue Zushi is one of those ones where there is like a lot of fake Blue Zushi going around, but there's also some batches that supposedly have seeds in it because I literally had a batch of yellow Zushi that I found a seed in it, and I still have the seed, so I'm looking forward to popping that in the future. I think that it's going to be interesting to dip my toes into that field, trying to grow shit. I think that I'm going to be someone who's not going to be satisfied with just bad shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to be a perfectionist, I guess. See how that goes. I think I'm going to fucking be very disappointed at what I produce at first. It's like um it's like YouTube at the beginning. My shit sucked. Even like now, my stuff has needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of work. But I think that like doing stuff like this, even getting comfortable to be on camera and stuff like this, is a process that's interesting to go through, and it's funny to do it in front of people where you get criticized and you have to start to figure out how to roll with the punches in a way that's going to um, benefit you more than try to make you overanalyze things, which is good too. I think you have to be very much self critical of what you're doing wrong if you want to grow. But the blue Zushi, it's weird because I've seen a few different people. I don't want to say names, but I've seen a few different people with stuff that they call blue Zushi, and it's just not Zushi. You know what I mean? But it's also interesting because like blue Zushi is such a different one from the earlier cut of it back in I guess like 2018 or some shit. It was at its best, and now what's going around is just a little bit more watered down. It's weird. Even from Tenko, you have to get like the Nobu batch, which I've heard that the Nobu batch is still, you know, it is what it is, which is weird because like all of the shit right now, I feel like everything that's growing under LEDs has just been going down the shitter. It's just stuff that's just completely just grown for the look. Everyone's so focused on the Telegram sale or the marketing of the flower, and it is what it is. I think that that is a huge factor in the whole process of the sale, and it's the evolution of the game, and it's something that is obviously in the process of selection when people are actually picking what to grow next. People are worried about, does this look good? Does it have enough purple that it's going to bait in the person who isn't necessarily appealed to stuff that is actually going to have effects? Because I mean, hey, purple usually does have more of a heavy hitting effect. Sometimes there is a lot of purple strains that are very strong strains, but sometimes you can achieve purple flower just by depriving the strain of light. If you do light depths, which is when you only give it enough light for a certain amount of time for it to grow really pretty and come out purple, then it is something that is it's very interesting to see. It's very interesting to see. I think that anyone who isn't familiar with light depths, I'm gonna try to actually go to one of these farms and show the people because it is the stuff that is running the hash rosin scene, or just the rosin scene, I should say, because a lot of the stuff isn't really hash. It's more flower rosin. I would call it. I would call it flower rosin, but a lot of people want to call it live rosin. Yeah, it is weird. People like they make it colder for the flower, and it's light depths is definitely something that is huge because it's something you could do year round. It's any large production brand, like a brand that's always dropping flower, it's only achievable if you have a grow that's constantly in production. They're always running, running. And if you're doing that, depths is a great option because that's something that you're able to get a huge yield. Yield is the main focus right now. People only really care about what's going to yield a lot, look pretty. The smell part can be achieved other ways in today's market. So it's weird. I think everyone should go check out my last interview with Burning Bird. He did a great job of actually explaining what some of these different grows will do to get things to not be thrown away. Some grows are not willing to throw shit away, and he did a great job explaining that. I respect him for what he said because it's something that needs to be heard by the people. People think that it's just gonna be it's always gonna be the case when prices are high. They think that the reason why prices are high because the brand's taking a bunch of losses or because the brand is fueling the fire in some sort of way and that's what they're using the money for. But most of the times they're just lining their pockets, doing weird things with it. But the passionate ones about the plant, sometimes are charging high tickets now. I've noticed it is very weird. The game's very weird at this moment. Everyone's um I don't know how to explain it without sounding like a downer. But I wanted to also do the opportunity of giving people the chance where if they ever wanted to request any videos that I do, any topics I do, or questions that they had, I wanted to always give that opportunity towards the end of the certain live streams and things that I'm going to be doing. But one of the um, one of the big videos that I actually probably shouldn't really discuss this one. It's gonna be it's gonna be cool to start doing more of these long form videos. So I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try my hardest to not even give people any early announcement on what I'm doing, just so that I don't psych myself out of the timing of when it actually gets dropped. But what do I think about THC percentages? So there's actually this interesting article about this. Um, there's a lot of proof behind brands faking this. There's a lot of proof behind that. There's also a lot of reasons why they do it. It's just such a weird market in today's times. People don't really know what they want. A lot of people really are buying stuff based upon statistics, based upon who told them it's this, who told them it's that. People don't really make up their minds when they're making a lot of decisions in a lot of ways. I've noticed there's a lot of different ways. A lot of people will kind of allow other people to decide for them. So I don't want to decide anything for anyone right now, but my reasoning why I think some people fake the percentages is just because people are so fucking willing to believe any fucking thing that's printed on a label. People are so willing to buy things because it's labeled in this flashy, very eye catching way, which I can't hate on. I think that it's the same reason why I would buy flashy shoes or buy clothes that I think looks cool, but it's also something that is it is materialistic. It is what it is. You know what I mean? People are more or less buying stuff because of the packaging that it's coming in, and it's not them buying the stuff because of the way it's grown, because of the way it's produced in any sort of way. So it's not surprising to me that people would ever fake a THC percentage or ever put something in a bag that's mislabeled and labeled as runts when it's not even runs. Like people are doing the weirdest things in the world in today's market. So it's like even like the bottom of the barrel things, like people are faking carts and faking things that are just weird. Just it's like the weirdest, sketchiest game, but people are so willing to allow those types of things to just fly under the radar, and people are willing to allow stuff like that to happen because what a fucking stop yapping, buddy. um maybe I should go for another hour. Now I'm motivated. um let's see, what was I saying? I think some people are so willing to allow stuff like that to happen because they haven't got themselves out of that inner child that they mentally allow themselves to stay in because they are scared to face their own weaknesses, their own insecurities. Like this person right here who would make a account just to try to mess with me. It's obviously someone who's very insecure, probably very bottom of the barrel type of person who has too much time on their hands and they don't know what to do with it in a wise way that's ever going to benefit them. Someone who is looking for a reaction from someone who's not going to give it to them. Bottom of the barrel, goofy human. So, much love and respect to you. I hope you are able to find some security because you are very insecure and very weird. Hope that's the reaction you. What a weird person. He's like staring. I guarantee that's probably a guy too, but it's always the type of people that they're just begging, begging. But much love, much respect. Let's go on with what I was talking about. Some people will be so willing to buy into these ideas because they want to fit in. They want to fit into these crowds. They want to look important. They want to look like the man. They want to look like this. They want to look like that. Sometimes it's great to allow yourself to be judged. It's great to allow yourself to look like the fool. Sometimes it's great to allow yourself to put your insecurities on blast and allow people to even shame you for things that they think is going to trigger you, but it would only trigger them because they're an insecure little pussy boy, like this child who's trying to tempt me. But keep fiddling around with my nunchucks. Ooh, you got me. Um, like that's a great one. But I'm almost like embarrassed for you. What a weird thing to say. But alright. Like this is the type of people that I beef with. This is embarrassing. But weird. Weird on my part. Let's move on. Some people want to fit in so bad that they are willing to I haven't. To be honest, I've never even heard of them, actually. I definitely want to check out more rosin brands. If anyone's not sure who Kevin Cleary is, that's my name. That's my name. So whoever this very, very cool person is that thought it was a wise move to make a fake account under my name really is showing that they have not only a high standard on what they want to do with their time, but they also are someone who is just looking for a reaction. They're literally just looking for something that they could get if they want to tempt me in real life, but they know what happens if they do that. I don't have to be the tough guy. I don't have to talk right now. We could see what happens. But much love and respect. Um, let's see. Let's move on. I was saying something. The people that try to fit in, the people who try to fit in, they want to do anything to fit in. They'll wear certain things to fit in. They'll buy certain things just to fit in. This is a mental illness and a mental weakness that I've noticed a lot of people have due to just trying to be part of the crowd. And they'll do it in any which way that they possibly can, even buying certain material bags or fast cars or different weird things that obviously have some benefits. There's yin and yang to everything in life, but once you get to a enlightened perspective of getting over your emotions and getting over the way you're perceived by others, then you're able to come to this perspective of some people are just in it for the image. Some people are just in it for the reaction that they're going to get out of other people, and they're going to do anything they can to get those reactions. But if they get it, it's not going to be in their favor. It's always going to be something that's a double-edged sword, always fucking them falling on their own sword. It's amazing though that I don't know, I'm at no high level of life, but it's always the people who they'll be in a better position than me who are always trying to get a weird reaction out of me, which is it's telling on where I'm headed. But yeah, much respect. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. I think that those are something that everyone should learn how to roll as well. I just actually did a video where you can actually learn how to roll. So anyone that's looking on a way to learn how to roll those, go check that out. I hope you found a great way to roll it. It is funny though. I love when people try to get reactions out of me because at this point in my life, I've come to the realization that it's always the fucking most insecure fucking weirdos. It's always the ones that have the most trouble looking in the mirror who always are trying so hard to tempt me. But then they see me in real life and they're like, oh, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? How you doing, brother? I'm doing fabulous, fuck face. I fucking I'll show you what doing good is. Yeah, sleep with one eye open. Good luck. It's always the ones that have to do it under fake names or do it under in ways where they can stay hidden, but they want to act like they're so tough and they can tell me to keep one eye open or oh, you're gonna do something. Why haven't you done anything? Why are you guys fucking only trying to tempt me when I'm on social media? Come on. Everyone wants to act like I'm some fake tough guy, like I'm some loudmouth fool or some shit. Try me in real life. Stop playing me on social media. Fucking get to the point, pussies. You guys are always trying to fucking play all soft when you guys actually see me in real life. But it is what it is. I'm not the one that's gonna start it. I'm the one that's gonna finish it. So play with me. With that said, let's get back on topic, pussies. Anyone that wants to fucking play with me, I don't give a fuck who it is. Anyone that wants to play with friends with me too, But much love to the ones that actually are here for the positive reasons to fucking flower, because this isn't fucking some tough guy fucking stream. I started this shit off fucking talking about weed. People are trying to get me to fucking talk tough. Like, what is going on? Oh, I guarantee you are. You're definitely my worst nightmare. I guarantee you're fucking the worst nightmare for yourself as well. You're fucking very insecure, buddy. Um, at this point, I'm going to start editing another video. People know where I am. People know where to catch me. Much love and respect to the ones that are actually supporting.